our home. I've been here since I was 4 years old. This is the only home I know. I've never been back to my home country. I've supported as much as I can. I'm a student. I'm a mom. I've had my family here. We're not here to do anything bad. We're here to help this country become better.
All right, welcome to the Todd and Erin morning stream on GetPartDaily.com. More
Very
information.
inspiring march with DACA over the weekend. I thought that was amazing. Some of the things you hear will be great.
More information coming up, yep.
All right, and good morning, everybody on Facebook. Thank you for waiting. I know we're a little late this morning, but better late than never is pretty much the stance I've always gone by. Let's go to the Morning Mountain
We're just
Cam.
glad we showed up.
The Morning Mountain Cam, of course, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. They are electric, plumbing, heating, and air. It's gotten a lot lighter in a big hurry. That's nice because
That's camera magic.
You know,
Some of that's camera magic.
I had to put the heater on my seat on this morning. You know how depressing that is driving in?
Well, no, because I don't have it, so.
Really? You're
Yeah.
going to go with that now with your big, massive truck, and you're going to start whining about not having a seat heater?
It's a 2011.
You know, let's just move on here. Okay.
I have air conditioning. She doesn't.
There was a pretty big march for DACA over the weekend, and if you remember, this is regarding President Trump's recent decision to return the kids who might have been brought here to the United States, perhaps as infants or small children with their parents, to return them back to the homeland.
Place
their
they've never
parents.
been before.
Yeah. And there was a pretty inspiring march.
Our federal government has failed us.
They're talking about shipping 10,000 Utah kids off to Mexico and other places.
Failed to enact comprehensive immigration reform.
I feel like we have contributed so much to this country and we don't get the same back.
Failed to protect children in our community who are seeking safety and prosperity.
Imagine what that's like. Imagine the horror that would bring. You were brought to Utah as a child.
This is our home. I've been here since I was 4 years old. This is the only home I know.
Your whole life has been in Utah. Your schooling is in Utah. The senior prom was in Utah. You went to Lagoon in Utah.
I came here with my family. We immigrated when I was 5 years old, and I've lived in Utah for 17 years.
Stay alone, stay clear!
And now ICE is going to come, pick you up. You'll be held in a holding facility in Logan, and then you'll be shipped off by plane to an airport in Mexico.
Show me what democracy looks like! This is what democracy looks like!
We are all immigrants, and we've all integrated into this culture. Why must we fight against these young people that are here now?
We demand action from our federal government to fix our broken immigration system.
Mr. Trump and all of us are here because somebody made that trip, and most of them were illegal. We need to remember that.
Hello, hello, can you guys hear me? Come on, scream louder than that, can you hear me? What are we here for? Come on, dreamers, let's go!
I immigrated to the United States with my family when I was 5 years old with the hope of a better future. My parents risked their lives and knew that they might not have all the opportunities for me, for my future, for my brother and my sister. And today I can reaffirm their belief as a graduate from the University of Utah with a bachelor's degree in political science and sociology. Yes, I am a dreamer. Yes, I am a believer, a doer. But today, I am also here for the 11 million undocumented immigrants living in the United States today. Today, I fight for my family members, my friends, my coworkers who have made mistakes, who do have criminal backgrounds, because they deserve dignity and respect too. Today, I fight for my parents who risked their lives, parents like yours who knew and reaffirmed that they wanted a better future for their kids. Wouldn't you risk everything for your kids to have a better future?
This is what we Utahns want. We want DACA eligible individuals in our community to remain in our community.
They've done nothing wrong because they're human beings.
You need to have a compassion. Imagine if this were your kids, how would you react? We're all dreamers. We're all children of immigrants. You know, show compassion and love.
It's worth the fight to be able to say that we have supporters here in Utah. Despite Utah being Republican, despite Utah being very conservative, we do have supporters. As you can see, yes, maybe it won't change exactly today, but it will continue the conversation of fighting for immigrant reform.
With our current government and with Trump, I'm not sure that anything of value will happen. I think journeys like this are important just to let people know that many, many Americans support young illegal immigrants.
All right.
Beautifully done.
We have a story about a Motel 6 coming up that kind of interrelates with the DACA march.
Yeah,
so we'll tell you what that
it's
is.
really intense.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. We've talked about this before, but there's so many kids here along the Wasatch Front who are in graduate programs now at the universities and colleges and doing really fantastic research.
Mm-hmm.
Kids who are going into medicine, who are going into law, who are going into science, and they're all DACA kids. You know, and they've done everything that was asked of them. They've gone back every 2 years and they've reapplied and they've asked for jobs and they've worked really hard.
I never knew about it.
Well,
do I live under a rock?
I was excited when President Obama announced it because at least it seemed like it was a logical step for people who really wanted to prove themselves worthy and to be great citizens had an opportunity. It was interesting. Jim DeBackus, Utah State Senator Jim
Who
DeBackus
always
said,
is everywhere on camera.
I know. He's very good at it, but he had something great to say. He
magnet.
said, imagine the horror that would bring. You brought to Utah as a child, your schooling was in Utah, your prom was in Utah, you went to Lagoon in Utah, and now ICE is going to come. You're going to be shipped off to an airport in Mexico without any ID, without a phone, and your cash confiscated. What the hell is supposed to happen to you then? This is what it all comes down to. These are Utah's children. They need to be protected. And people who don't understand that, he said, have no soul.
Plus, they stood up and they stepped forward and they registered.
They did everything that was asked of them.
Right.
So, if anything else, I hope this is a prompt for Congress to actually make some sort of logical, rational, step-by-step program that's actually going to give people some idea of what they can do. Because that's just ridiculous.
Can I tell you that we're going to be taken over by space alien overlords now?
Oh, I think that's a given. Everybody knows
We're
that.
going to be taken over by space alien overlords now. University game, Saturday night.
Strange lights
Up in the sky. 8 o'clock game, interesting. 8 o'clock game, a night game. And this is what they saw.
Look at that, though.
Yeah, there's one thing, and then it will split into 4.
I was emailing Gerardo to ask if we could use his footage, and he goes, "It was freaky! Freaky!"
Oh, there's swearing in this, by the way.
Sorry about that.
But he's a bishop, so it's okay.
Don't be a smart aleck.
Breaks into 4. There's 2.
Maybe the Air Force will tell us it's a weather balloon.
Well, I've got the list, and they're okay.
Oh, man, that's so cool.
Yeah. Then they stop.
They stopped. How could they just stop like that?
Because they're magic from alien space.
Okay, so it's not the Skydivers then.
Well, okay.
Because if the Skydivers were doing tracer...
Okay, they don't know about the Skydivers.
Oh, well, go ahead and tell them the
Let me
Skydivers.
go through. Okay, number 1. They said they were... the university said they are likely a part of the pregame festivities at the San Jose Bicycle Stadium's game against the Running Utes that they won. And they said appearing in that show were some skydivers that landed inside the stadium.
Now, a lot of times when you do night jumps, you will have a tracer light that goes with
you.
you.
You will always have a tracer light.
No, but I mean, it activates when your chute deploys so that the rest of you, especially if you're doing some kind of formation...
don't hit each other.
You know where everybody is. But they said that it wasn't them.
Huh. And remember the word likely. Now, according to the University of Utah spokesman, Chris Nelson, he said it's very likely that it was part of the demonstration with the lights and the skydiving. Patrick Wiggins, NASA representative, he said it may be a satellite that broke up on Saturday night.
Things that break up that are coming back into the atmosphere don't just stop midair like that.
After viewing several of the videos, Wiggins said it appears that it is probably not a satellite and something much closer to ground, like perhaps flares.
Flares.
Let's go through all the examples that they used to use on us.
Weather balloon.
Swamp gas.
Swamp gas was a good one.
Reflections off the atmosphere. Because reflection always comes down in a bright light and then splits into 2.
And then pauses motionless in the sky. Okay.
So.
But no, but their biggest excuse was the biggest reason they had was that we think it's the skydivers. And the skydivers went, well, no, that happened like 30 minutes before we even jumped.
Doubters beware.
No, I for one welcome our alien overlords. I would just like to remember we're handy because we have the opposable thumbs. The cows will tell you they're in charge, but they don't have opposable thumbs.
They have hooves.
Hooves.
Once again, twice used the word likely. another very perhaps maybe, and then the word probably not. That sounds like a cover-up to me.
Interesting.
That's just
No,
me,
that's
but
just people admitting they have no idea what it was.
speaking of aliens,
But it is cool.
why don't we... It must have been a slow weekend because I posted on Facebook. I said, I was watching Star Wars, and I thought, oh, that's cool. What would be... And you listen to all the names, and you think, okay, how do they make up those names? And then I thought about it, and
And they're all great names, too, like Darth Vader.
right. Or
Alderaan.
Or some have, Alderaan 7, whatever. And so what we did is we put up the question.
There is a formula.
What is your Star Wars name? Number 1 would be the first car you drove.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 would be the street you grew up on. And number 3 would be the last medication you took.
I don't want to brag, but mine's pretty good. I'm Pinto Q of Sudafed.
It's not even good. It's just sexy.
What was yours?
Pinto Hill of Trazodone. Still good.
See?
I don't think I saw any bad ones. See if we can find a bad one.
Dotson Peony of ibuprofen. That was
Nice.
cute.
Yeah.
VW Meadowbrook of Sudafed.
See?
Mustang Crystal of Aleve. Now that one's that's kind of sassy.
That is sassy.
Colt Browning of ibuprofen.
Colt Browning.
Yeah. Subaru Copper of acetaminophen codeine 3. Now she's extra
Ooh.
fancy, so that was pretty cool.
And she spelled it right.
Nova 4980 of Trazodone.
That is a
And
good
Tammy
one.
goes, same planet as you, Todd. Chevy 2 900 East Atravastatin. It's the blood pressure
Cholesterol.
drug. Thank
Yeah.
you. So that's the Corolla Main of Benadryl. This is my favorite. This is from our friend Scott Kingsbury. Bug Dewy Chiba Chews.
Oh, winner.
Can't argue
Winner.
with that one.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
I'm sorry, but that's pretty good. How are you feeling?
Okay, so...
Now that
I want you-
90%
I
of your
want
body
you-
weight has been expelled
I
through.
want you to listen very carefully to me. I don't care what the brochures and the promotional videos have done of talking to you about food poisoning, but it isn't fun like they say. It isn't. It's horrible. And we think we've pinpointed it. We're not going to say to where this might have happened to me.
Oh, I'll say.
No. Not
Okay.
until it's proof that would be bad.
How are you going to prove it? Other than this is the only possible source that it could have come from.
Well, if I have to register with the state, they'll tell me if there's other people who have registered with the state, if it's something worse than just
if
food
it is
poisoning.
salmonella.
I got it, which I've had before, and
He's
it's
had
awesome.
before.
So, yeah, and Saturday night, I was like a floor show. I sounded like an elementary school orchestra tuning up.
Oh, you were going off like a Roman candle.
oh my
It was
gosh.
just,
And even yesterday, even today, and then I started thinking about it. When we did radio, we could go in basically like this and make it through the show. I mean, with IV bottles dripping, and Erin went in with stitches and a black eye. No.
no one ever thinks it's you. You could actually beat me up and no one would believe it was you. Please.
And she fell out of bed and
Not
hit
that
her
you would.
night on the hit her
I
head on the
literally
nightstand.
did fall out of, I passed out sitting up and fell and hit my
And
forehead
you passed.
on
Now you have to
the
figure.
bedside table. So
You passed out because.
because I sat up too fast. I have no idea. I mean, how stupid is that? But anyway, let's go back to the important part here.
All right. Oh, so anyway, the point is that with radio you could cheat and lie and not have to look at anything.
You wouldn't have to explain anything
No, I was just lucky I had pants on. So anyway,
most of the time.
So don't believe them when they say it's fun, because it's not. And I do. I have lost 3 pounds.
You know, I remember having the flu and stuff in times when I would throw up, but I remember just sitting there thinking, on the bright side,
It's the worst thing.
I'm going to lose so much weight.
It's the worst thing.
But you know,
Oh,
that
you're
only
so
cheers you up.
gross.
But that only cheers you. It's a girl thing. But that only cheers you up for like the first 2 or 3 trips to the bathroom, and after that,
Not to
there's no comfort left to you.
Not to get too graphic, and I won't, promise. But when you do vomit, if you want to feel better, the ones that have it worst are dogs, because it seems like it starts at the tip of their tail, and then just works. Anyway,
Thank you for that salient insight. I
So I should be good by next Thursday.
had no idea. Okay, Emmy Awards last night.
Oh,
and
yeah. How did everybody do?
You know what's funny? Because they've tried, so all the award shows used to have it so easy because they were like a certain amount of networks. It's like all you had to cover, and then it got into cable, and then it got into all the premium channels, and then all of a sudden, premium channels like HBO started kicking everybody's butt, and then all of regular network TV's like, well, crap. Now they've got streaming TV,
So you're
which
talking
is
about
essentially
the future, which is actually the present.
yeah. Well, now they've got streaming TV, which if you think about it, it's very similar to what you and I did. We're like the next generation after radio. It's the same thing with these guys. They're the next generation after just network TV because Netflix introduced all these new interesting series, and now interestingly, all of the networks kind of have their own streaming series as well.
Yeah.
But The Handmaid's Tale was the winner for Best Outstanding Drama Series, and it was one of the high points and the low points of the night. High point because it is a very, very, very good show.
Right.
It's from the Margaret Atwood novel. If you never read it, it's really horrifying. It's about a totalitarian American, which sounds surprisingly similar, with a very strong military bent, and infertility is huge because of all the pollution. So anyone who is capable of having children is sort of confiscated and given to high-ranking couples, and she has to bear their child.
Any guys involved in this?
It's a really horrifying.
That is a horrifying.
It's a horrifying scenario, but it's actually really surprisingly plausible. But so it's good. But the weird thing is they opened the show with all of these dancing handmaids, and you're like, did you even see the premise of the show? Because it's like a horrifying, oppressive thing, and you've got men and women and men dancing in handmaid outfits. It seemed weird. Sean Spicer showed up. That was different.
Gut move.
Yeah. Here was the interesting thing.
Colbert was the.
Stephen Colbert, yeah. Sterling Brown won for This Is Us. He was the outstanding lead actor in a drama series. Now, here's the deal.
Which one?
Sterling Brown for This Is Us. The outstanding supporting, one of the bigger roles went to Nicole Kidman, and she went on towards the end of the show, and she went on for a good 10 minutes, and she pretty much talked about everything. People were counting. It was a long time.
She wouldn't get off the stage?
But she kept going, and they kept her on, and it's Nicole Kidman. I mean, she's an A-lister.
Who pays for that?
But the sad thing is Sterling Brown, who has just won this massive award, and he goes, I just have and he was really fun, and he was interesting, and he was like, I don't care if the music starts, I'm just going to finish really fast. And they actually cut his mic. I mean, it could not have been more ignominious. And it's really sad. He said, before anything like this happened, I was a fan. First, last, and always, I was a fan. So to my fellow nominees, I'm a fan. I love you all. And he was really, really funny. And he was charming, but they cut him right off. So he had to finish his acceptance speech backstage. And all the media guys are like, look, camera's rolling. Just keep talking.
Do you remember when Jon Stewart, the couple who played the song, the song of...
It was from Once, I believe. Yeah.
And they got chopped. It was like, hey, thank you.
And they were this darling couple.
It came, and everyone during the commercial break, where Erin and I were like, well, what was that?
How could
that
you
is so
do
mean.
that?
Because they're like unknowns.
Because they're the little ones that you root for, you know?
And then they came back, and there's Jon Stewart saying, you know what? We didn't give them enough time. Here they are. And they got to do their acceptance speech.
I have loved him
ever since
crazy. For that. I know, it was so cool.
That's such a good moment.
Aside from Handmaid's Tale for outstanding drama, outstanding comedy, went to Veep, which I still have never seen. We talked about Sterling Brown. Outstanding lead actress was Elizabeth Moss from The Handmaid's Tale.
Right.
Supporting actor, that was John Lithgow for Crown. Supporting actress, Anne Dowd from The Handmaid's Tale. It was a long and interesting night, but I really genuinely was shocked that they would just cut him off like that. Oh, Little Big Lies. This is a big one. That was the one. Alexander Skarsgård has facial hair now, and no one knows how they feel about it. Because in True Blood, he was clean-shaven and he was a hot vampire, and he got kind of seedy looking for this role. Mm-hmm. So there's some confusion.
All right. There you go.
You know,
we should touch base. We were pushing out the information that we received about the little kid from West Valley who has autism, Cage Gordon, and he was lost. And so nice enough to put it out. We shared it. All of you shared it, which was great.
And thank you so much. Thousands of shares. Thank you.
Got the picture out, and he is fine.
He's been found.
Yeah. So his job is basically to torture his parents until their heads explode, but he's fine, and he's home.
So thank you very much for all of your support and everything you did to help out. That was wonderful.
Good stuff.
All right, let's go to Daisy in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you, of course, by if I can find it, Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find that mortgages are made simple. There's a simple 4-minute quiz. Just go through it. It'll give you some options, and someone will call you on the next business day. Also, by All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. 24-hour service. You can call John and get some help at 801-652-4755. Good morning, Daisy. What is going on today?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making headlines Monday, September 18th on GebhardtDaily.com. The names of the 4 people killed Saturday morning when their small plane crashed on the way to Moab from Fort Collins, Colorado, have been released. Police say 47-year-old Jeff Makepeace, his 45-year-old wife Jennifer, and their 2 twin 10-year-old children, Addison and Benjamin, died in the accident. According to a statement by the Garfield County, Colorado Sheriff's Office, the plane went down about 9 miles north of Glenwood Springs after taking off earlier in the day from the Fort Collins airport. It's believed heavy cloud cover may have played a role in the crash. Police are searching for 2 suspects after a 17-year-old was shot and wounded in Kearns Sunday. Unified Police say the shooting happened in the area of 5155 West, 6200 South, shortly after noon. The victim suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his legs and was taken to the hospital with what police described as non-life-threatening injuries. 2 suspects were seen speeding from the area in a tan Chevrolet Impala. Anyone with information in the case is asked to call Unified Police.
I immigrated to the United States with my family when I was 5 years old with the hope of a better future. My parents risked their lives and knew that they might not have all the opportunities for me.
And hundreds of demonstrators marched through downtown Salt Lake City Saturday to voice their support for the estimated 800,000 people facing deportation with the end of the so-called DREAM Act. The Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals Act was launched by then-President Barack Obama in 2012 and was designed to keep children of undocumented immigrants who came to the U.S. as minors from being deported. The Trump White House recently announced plans to end the program, meaning as many as 10,000 Utah Dreamers could be forced to leave the country unless the White House and Congress can agree on a compromise. And now let's take a look at the Wasatch Front forecast, where we're about to see a major change. Temps will hit 80 degrees Monday, but after that there's going to be a bit of a slide, and by the weekend we'll see highs in just the upper 50s. You can expect plenty of rain in the next couple of days as well. That's it for now. For more local headlines 24/7, go to GebhardtDaily.com. And Todd and Erin, back to you.
Doesn't Daisy look pretty today?
She does look pretty.
That was such a nice
pretty
smile.
and smart. Pretty smart is what she looks like. All right. If you want to have a smart kid, you want to write down on your calendar. Get your phone out.
Okay.
Get your phone. I want you.
Are we having more kids? You said I couldn't have any more babies. Can I have another?
Put your phone down. Okay. So what you want to do is put a reminder in that at the end of the year, let's say, I don't know, December, early January, to get busy.
You're supposed to impregnate at that time. Why?
Maybe a little Netflix and chill. So
Why?
make that note, both of you, husbands
Why?
and wives, partners, whatever you got.
Explain why.
Because think of it this way: they've done a study about how old your kid is when it goes into first grade. Okay, so kids who are older tend to do better with social skills, with being able to sit still, with those kind of things, and learning cognitive skills and things like that. So that's why, end of the year, make a baby. Baby goes into school, because we had the conversation. Do you put your kids in earlier or later? Do you like go after and stuff? Anyway, they're saying that September is the smartest kids in the world.
So if you've got a Virgo, you're the smart kids. So, but it's true, they've done this, I mean, consistently on a whole bunch of different testing and scales. Born in September keeps consistently coming up at the higher level.
More confident, more likely to attend college, and less likely to spend time in juvenile detention.
Wow.
So if you care about your kids, drink a lot of extra eggnog and rum at the holiday party, and hang mistletoe from every door jamb in your house. There, that's it.
Okay, that's inspiring.
That's
Hey,
it.
the big thank you. We just wanted to tell you thank you so much for joining us on the morning stream and how much fun it's been to have you here and how much we love your comments and how we're all really
Most of them.
unhinged together, which is really the best thing. And so we want to do that by sending you to Christopher's Prime Steakhouse, which is possibly the most glorious thing. I talked to one of the winners, by the way, and she went on and on about her ribeye to the point where I felt like, really at this point you're being mean-spirited
just
and you're
stop
kind of
talking.
taunting me. She goes,
Right.
no, I just wanted to tell you more about the crab they put on top and the béarnaise sauce. And I went, I'm gonna reach through this laptop and kill you. Just stop talking about it because it's that good. But we'd like to send you and 3 friends. You can have a great night and relax and enjoy yourself. And all you have to do to enter is to go to one of our Facebook pages where you're likely watching now anyway. And that would be Gephardt Daily, Gephardt Approved, or on the Todd and Erin Facebook page. Just drop a comment today saying, good morning, hi, how are you? Like Andrea just said, pick me, that's good. See, that's simple enough. And really, that's all we need to enter. And then every Friday, we pick a new winner. It's that simple.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
I would do it, but I'm not allowed.
And you were kind of drifting off
I'm
there,
sorry.
weren't you?
I was the hurricane thing is bugging me.
We'll tell you about it next.
All right.
Todd and Erin's Morning Stream, brought to you by Black Diamond Experts. Electric, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. You'll be glad you called an expert. Fink and McGregor, mortgages made simple. Make sure you go to fink-mcgregor.com and try out their 4-minute mortgage program. It's incredibly easy to find out whether you qualify.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is actually available anytime at gephardtdaily.com. Just click on the Todd and Erin page.
Did you know you can buy a house with a 600 credit score?
Really?
We have lenders, we have programs, stuff that's come up in the last couple of years. 600.
Wouldn't you have to have like 50% down or something though?
Nope. 3.5%.
Where would you start the process on this?
Well, Fink and McGregor has a website, 4minutemortgage.com. Just go there, fill it out, up and running.
How long until you get back to us?
1 business day. Whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
Where do you get the down though if you're broke?
It can be a gift from family, relative, significant other, even your work.
Gift, huh?
Yeah.
You know what that makes me wish?
What?
Makes me wish I had friends with money.
All right. I just want to clarify something before we continue that we are not weathermen, meteorologists. We have nothing to do with them. We don't dress like them.
I don't think they've ever expected us to have any kind of intellectual capacity, sweetie. So I think you're good there.
My heart is just broken because here comes Maria, which is another hurricane with Joey coming in behind her. And right now she's out, and she's a Category 1. Don't freak out about this. But the track it's on had all the same conditions that Irma
Hurricane
did.
Irma did, and she plowed through Florida.
And so right
for
now,
all of our Facebook friends who are at Florida right now, and I keep checking on you every day, I'm really sorry because it looks like you're just about to start again.
No. We don't know anything. All
Based
they're saying is
on the trajectory of the storm.
this is on the American model,
Yeah.
not the European.
I didn't know there was a difference.
There is a difference.
Okay.
And when they align, you're in trouble because it's really accurate. Anyway, what it's doing right now, it's 75 miles an hour. It's going to go through the Caribbean, hit Puerto Rico at a Category 3.
At 120 miles an hour, that's good.
And then the Dominican Republic, and guess what's next? Cuba. And then hot water, picking up speed. This is just all they're thinking. And like I said, this is a week away, if not more. And so there's...
See, it's something to look forward to.
And then there's another one behind it. It's just...
Somebody really offended the weather gods this year. I mean, more so than usual.
I don't know.
I'm not sure how, but there's been a lot of spite involved. So anyway, we're there with you. We'll keep an eye on it with you.
So
Sorry.
Guys, get ready to donate again.
It's time.
Go get your kids' money out of their piggy bank.
All right, if you've been looking for a really, really good motivation to lose weight, which
Okay.
is always something I'm looking for, it's your weight. The fat is fueling cancer. Now, this is really scary. There have been certain genetic links that have been going with this for a while, and they've been researching this. But the University of Utah, up at the Huntsman Cancer Institute, just came up with some really interesting research. And what they've found is that cancer grows and spreads in the body depending on the type of fat and where it's located in your body, and obesity dramatically enhances the chances of the body actually spreading the cancer cells further, faster.
I did not know this.
And so what they're finding is, so they're saying it's not that your obesity causes the cancer, but what happens is if you're obese and you get the cancer cells, they can replicate much faster and they can move faster through the body because they use.
And this
the
is
fat is used as a conduit.
This is the Huntsman.
Yeah, Huntsman Cancer Institute. So it's a primary risk factor for a lot of different cancers like colorectal, postmenopausal breast, endometrial, liver, esophageal, kidney, gastric, gallbladder, ovarian, thyroid. So, I mean,
That's a lot.
There's really good reasons to try to get below. I mean, you don't have to be bone skinny. No one's expecting you to be a size 0. But if you can get below the obesity level and try to keep your weight at a certain kind of level situation.
A healthy level.
They say it makes a huge difference in terms of, number one, the spread of cancer, and number two, the likelihood that it could be caught sooner before it goes to a much more serious
And this
stage.
is local research.
Yeah, this just came out of the University of Utah's Huntsman Cancer Institute.
Interesting.
So if you need, I know it sucks, I'm with you, but if you need more motivation to get below the obesity level for your weight, this is a really, really good one.
Cut down KFC once a week.
Really?
Got it.
Let's not get radical here.
You're the one who started this in our house, by the way.
You are responsible for this.
Kentucky Fried
You
Chicken.
reminded me what my taste buds, what it tasted like, and now we're all screwed. This is your fault.
Yeah, but you keep showing up with it.
Well, yeah, because you got me into it again.
You and Zoe go out, and it's like, hey, we're going out to get some gas, and they come back with Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I just didn't want you to have to cook because I care about you, and I knew you were busy.
Whatever. When I say Motel 6, what do you think? I think of Tom Burdette.
We'll leave the light on for you.
We'll leave the light.
Kind of homesy, folksy, kind of.
There it is there.
Small, affordable.
Man, they're doing something new now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, they're leaving the light on for you, and then they're calling immigration.
Excuse me?
Well, evidently, they've been sending guest information directly to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, known as ICE, and to keep people are getting busted, and then they're re-renting the rooms.
Okay, and once again, if you're getting busted, you've already got payment for the night, so they're just basically double billing the
I
room.
think that's a side point. The fact that their guests
Well, I'm guessing that's their motivation, is what I'm saying.
No, they think they're just being jerks. And then the head office goes, well, we didn't know this was going on, which is probably true. And these people have taken upon themselves in Salt Lake City to go ahead and do this, and that's...
wow.
At least 20 people in 2 Motel 6s in February and August were picked up.
That's horrible.
Yeah. That's just...
Boy, that gives a new sinister meaning to we'll leave the light on for you.
We'll
That's
leave
really
the light
creepy.
on for you, and then we'll flip it on and off when the ICE agents are looking at it, and they'll come and bust you.
That's unbelievable.
In a reaction to this, there's been some announcements. Hilton has claimed itself as a sanctuary hotel, and Holiday Inn is building a wall.
Okay.
Really? I thought it was funny.
It's pretty funny.
No, it didn't funny, you face.
It's pretty funny. No, I was just picturing the Hilton as a what was it again? A sanctuary
hotel.
I'm perfectly happy with it because that sanctuary means someone else is making my bed and I can get room service.
Hey, who paid for that?
Who paid for what?
The wall.
I don't know, none of us. Apparently, Holiday Inn has
I got
more
no
money.
support around here.
It's pretty good.
I'm sick and I get no support. Fine.
Okay, that was one. That
Coming
was not
up
one
next.
of your strongest punchlines, but it was. You put it out there.
Building a wall. Come on. Sanctuary hotel, building a wall. I wrote it when I was sick. Facebook, help me out right now.
Explains a lot.
Coming up next. Why don't you tell us something good? What's coming up next?
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephardtDaily.com?
All right, you're going to tell us something good.
Okay, this is pretty amazing to me because I think everybody has gone through a period in their life where you at least have someone very close to you that's considered suicide. There's a myriad of different reasons for it, but finally it comes to a point where in someone's heart and their mind they feel like they just cannot go on, they can't do it. Well, Catherine Lowe was pretty much in that stage. She was 57 years old. She was struggling with a really sudden onset of illness, declining health, a bitter divorce. And her sister said, you know what I think you need? Let's go to Nepal together. We're going to do a trekking adventure. I think it's going to help you. It will, it'll be easier for you.
Nepal, what a jump.
And you know what she was thinking, though? She said, before I left, I wrote out my will. I didn't expect to come back. I was either going to just quietly fall off a mountain. She said, I didn't know what I was thinking, but she said, I wasn't planning to come back. And interestingly, they would be doing these really tough 10-hour treks, and she would kind of glance at the high cliff falls and question, maybe is this my moment, or is this? And it kind of terrifies me. Her poor sister, I can't even imagine that. But because her sister was there and the guide was great, she said, okay, I can finish this next day. Okay, I'll finish today's trek. I can't do this with my sister here. I'll finish today's trek. Well, the fourth one they went on was postponed because there were some issues in the village, and so they had a chance to stay there for about a week while their guide was getting all the necessary things back together.
Village,
and she got to know some of the kids. She got to know the lodge owner. She met some of the families in the village, and she realized that the kids were desperately trying to learn literally by using sticks in the dirt. I mean, they didn't have a school. And they were such amazing kids, and she said what became a major catalyst for me was deciding to become involved with their education. All of these kids could have had formal education, but their parents didn't have $15 a month. It was laughable. They were like, that would be like their yearly income kind of thing. There was no way.
That'd be crazy.
And she had watched one 8-year-old boy beg to be allowed to go to school, and they actually shut the door on him. And she said, "Okay, forget it. This is not gonna happen." So first she was trying to fund education for some of the younger kids, and then she went, "Well, wait a minute. No, this is only going to help a few kids. This is dumb." So she started writing everybody back home and saying, hey, "This is the situation." She started raising money. She started getting involved. Went back home, did some more fundraisers, came back, and then she realized about a year later, as they were building the school, that she said my heart had healed, and she said I realized that in my grief I had forgotten that there was so much more that I was meant to do on this earth, and there's so much more that we're all meant to do. And so she basically just barely opened the school. It's called Learning for Lukla.
She opened an entire school?
Learning for Lukla. You can go to the Facebook page if you'd like to learn more about how she did it, because it is really creative. She said some kids from neighboring villages will walk up to 2 hours to get in there in the morning. They'll be there 40 minutes early just to be waiting to get in the door.
Oh, fun.
And so she said, I never would have imagined that I would be at this point now in my life 2 years later.
Turn around.
Than when I came to Nepal and I expected to end my life there.
Oh.
And so she said, I'm telling people this and I'm admitting what happened to me, because she said, I want you to realize that no matter how bad you are, no matter where you are in your journey, she said, there's so much more that's still expected of you in your life. I just thought that was really gorgeous.
That is cool. Information, national headlines.
Okay, I'm a little verklempt. I'm focusing now. Okay, it's brought to you by Fink & McGregor. If mortgage is made simple, if you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you can get all kinds of information about various mortgages, and then someone can call you back within 1 business day. Also by Black Diamond Experts. They are experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air, and they just opened a brand new Ogden office. You can go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on?
Hello again, everyone. Here's a look at national and world news headlines for Monday, September 18th on GepardtDaily.com. A British Airways jet was evacuated Sunday at Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris because of a direct threat to the aircraft, officials said. The flight was due to take off at 7:25 a.m. Sunday, bound for Heathrow in London when the incident occurred. Passengers were removed from the plane while the aircraft was checked for explosive devices. French police later said the plane's evacuation was triggered by a false alarm. The security threat came just 2 days after an explosion rocked a crowded London subway car, injuring 29. 4 Boston College women studying overseas were attacked with acid in the main train station in Marseille, France, Sunday. The attack took place shortly after 11 a.m. when an unidentified 41-year-old woman sprayed the other women with hydrochloric acid. All 4 students were taken to the hospital, where 2 of them were treated for acid burns. Police said the assailant is psychologically disturbed and the incident was not a terror attack. And don't look now, but there's another hurricane taking aim at the Caribbean. Tropical storm Maria became a fully blown hurricane Sunday, and it appears to be following in the path of Hurricane Irma. Maria is now a Category 1 storm with sustained winds of 75 miles an hour. The storm was moving west-northwest at 15 miles an hour and is likely to intensify to a major Category 3 storm with winds topping 125 miles an hour. Early models show Maria moving towards Florida and up the U.S. East Coast, but forecasters say it's too early to know for sure. That's it for now. For more headlines from across the country and around the world, go to GephartDaily.com. And for now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
I don't know about you, but Todd and I have spent like most of our married life compiling a list of our people. And by our people, I mean the ones that we trust, like down at Regent Street, you trust our guy there.
To
take care of our cars. We've got somebody that we trust to help us with medical stuff. We have somebody we trust that fixes drains and faucets and stuff like that. Black Diamond Expert's on the list. Now, here's why. You want to know who you can count on. You know what I mean? Like if there's a problem at 2 o'clock in the morning, you want to be able to call and they're like, yeah, we'll totally be out there. Don't worry about it. You want to know that like if they bill you for something, that it was necessary and they're giving you a fair price and that they're not going to throw any little extra bits on top. That's Black Diamond Experts. And when they do electric, plumbing, heating, and air, it pretty much covers the entire house unless you put your head through the drywall. That's somebody else's problem. But they also just barely opened a brand new office up in Ogden, so they're even more accessible to you. But this is a really good time to put them on your list of your guys, the people you count on. It's Black Diamond Experts, electric, plumbing, heating, and air. You can go to blackdiamondexpert.com. Wow, this is a hard one to excuse.
What do you got?
Well, Mark Porter, 58 years old, lives in Draper.
Mm-hmm.
And authorities say that he yelled a racial slur at his new neighbors, who happened to be African American. He screamed at a little 7-year-old boy and told him to get out of here after he called him the racial slur. When the father told Porter not to yell at his son, Porter hit the man in the neck with a stun cane. A stun cane.
That carries a stun cane?
Now, Porter's attorney, Daniel, said that, quote, this attack was not racially motivated, but was in self-defense. And I'm like,
but he used the...
You just used a racial slur on a 7-year-old.
Right.
So that, to me, does sound racially motivated.
It does.
Does it to you?
And why is he carrying a stun cane?
What is a stun cane?
Well, it's a cane, and it's
Well,
got a little trigger on it, and you like that.
Real? I didn't know such a thing even existed.
According to the article, that makes him an a-hole. It says it right there.
I think pretty much, yeah. So, interestingly, they dismissed...
A stun cane, really?
They dismissed the state assault charges, and people freaked out, and they went, no, that's because the federal prosecutors are now stepping in, because it's a hate crime.
Oh, well,
which is probably why his attorney's going, oh, no, it wasn't racially motivated at all.
Maybe
it's
don't
like,
want to call people names, and if you're an ignorant son of a... You
using
just shut up.
Using the N-word is usually an indication
Using any kind of words,
you're a racist.
negative factors, shut up.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Excuse me. Please shut up.
Okay, coming up next... This has got to be the most interesting. You don't expect like museums to be like the crazy ones online, right? The like the battle zones.
In the Octagon, the battle is on. It's coming up next. Okay, you gotta do the right teacher.
We're brought to you this morning by Executive Transportation. Elegant service, professional style. Go to executiveutah.com. And All Utah Plumbing. Your home deserves the best. 24-hour emergency service at allutahplumbing.com. Did you know you can catch the Todd and Erin morning stream any time of the day or night on Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and GephartDaily.com?
All right, welcome back to the Todd and Erin morning stream on GephartDaily.com. You're right. We were just saying, do we have too many angry stories on this morning?
It seems like we've had a lot of negative stuff. I'm sorry if we've been too negative.
We put it together yesterday and the day before.
Maybe we were in a pissy mood yesterday, but it seems like we had more negative ones than we usually do.
You want to skip this one?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's skip
we'll
that.
just blow that one off.
Skip that one.
We're
going to go to...
Go to the Twitter war, because this
I'm not sure this is
I'm
better.
sorry, but the Natural History Museum is not really where I expect people to be like going at it in social media. This is funny.
So this guy is online. And it's during a Natural History Museum Ask the Curator event on Twitter. And then, they said you could ask any questions, and he had a question he wanted them to answer. Go ahead.
He said, who would win a staff battle between Science Museum and the Natural History Museum of London? Like, what exhibits and items would help you be victorious?
Right.
Which I think is a genius question.
Okay. And then it just went on.
Natural History Museum in London said, we have dinosaurs. No contest.
Bring it on. And then?
Science Museum said, well, the Natural History Museum in London is full of old fossils, but we have robots, a Spitfire, and ancient poisons. Boom! And apparently it went on back and forth for quite a while.
What about the mermaid? The merman?
I just think that's epic.
We have a Polaris nuclear missile.
So, you know, eventually the guy who started this was like, I'm very sorry.
Just backing out.
But I can't help but love them because you know that they're going to have like the most cunning comebacks because they're horribly clever.
They talked
creatures.
about bringing the nuke as an earth-shattering event, and then the other museum came back and says, we have cockroaches that can survive your nuclear bomb.
There you go. Okay, I've got to be honest. Apparently, there's some people who are just not happy about anything.
Like what?
Well, Crayola, pick it up. They've just introduced a brand new color.
First of all, Crayola crayons, 1903, Eastern Pennsylvania. They've been doing it that long, and I think the first color was white. Just one color.
Best friend to children everywhere. I'm sure
Right.
it's the primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, or whatever.
Just one color was white, and they went from there. Now, first of all, they came up with a new color. I remember the color that came up was salmon. And there's a controversy about it, and I can't remember what it was.
I don't either, but I think that was always the one I used for flesh tones when I was a little
Exactly.
kid. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was... No, because they have the other colors, too.
Yeah.
So they come up with a new color, and it's a certain blue. And they said, well, let's have a contest. They started in July. And they finally went ahead, and they decided what the new name was, and it was going to be Bluetiful.
Bluetiful. I think that's very sweet.
It's a nice color.
Bluetiful, and it's a nice color.
You could use it for what? Oceans, and rivers, and stuff like that.
Dolphins.
Well, up in
Dolphins would
arms.
be a nice bluetiful.
Critics are up in arms.
How could you possibly... There's many things in this world to criticize, but why would you be upset about the Bluetiful blue crayon from Crayola?
Because you're living in your mom's basement.
What?
Well, the reason they have a problem with it is that name. Show the name again. Is not an actual name. It's not an actual word.
Well, yeah, it's like a catchy play on words.
All the other crayons have real words, and they say that this is teaching kids not to use real words and to
for
spell
heaven's sake, really?
incorrectly.
Really?
Right. And so, I wonder if
That's their biggest issue. They think it's going to dumb down kids.
They should have one come up with up yours. That color, the up your color. Yeah.
I don't want to know what color that would be.
No, you don't.
I really
But
don't.
anyway, I point out the fact that Bluetiful is not a real word, nor is Crayola. So.
Well, there you go.
I like the color.
So I don't know why they're being so pissy about it.
Right.
All right, Twitter is one of my favorite best friends because it comes to introducing you to new information every week. It makes you look smarter.
What do you
and
mean
for
makes
me,
you look
I
smarter?
really need all the help I can possibly get. Well, it comes up with it scrolls through and it comes up with some of the most interesting information of the week. For instance, a new study has found that chemicals in shaving cream contribute to lower sperm count.
Pass that
So,
shaving cream.
fine. But no, but what I'm saying is,
So if you
if
see
you
your
are trying to get
husband using
pregnant,
Barbasol, like out to here every morning, maybe at night,
no, but just what they're saying though is if you are trying to start a family,
Don't
then
use
maybe
it.
it's not as good idea. Having your dog in the bedroom may not disrupt your sleep, but a new study is showing that sharing your bed with them will. We talked about
because
that
the dog
last
would
week.
move, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it would disturb you, and you would get out of REM sleep. and-
And then from New Scientist magazine, third-hand smoke. This is third-hand that you find, the residue in furniture and clothing.
Wait. So this would be standing next to someone. So let's say you're smoking. I stand next to you. I breathe in your smoke.
That is secondhand
I
smoke.
breathe out my smoke, and somebody else breathes that in.
Well, actually, third-hand smoke is, for instance, the residue of smoke like in carpets and furniture and clothing. And what they've found, it damages mouse organs. So if it's damaging mouse organs, what's it doing to us?
But you don't have to buy mousetraps.
Oh, and there is at least one advantage to being short, a lower risk for dangerous blood clots in the veins.
Again?
There is one advantage to being short, a lower risk for dangerous blood clots in the veins. You are less likely to have disruptive blood clots. That's pretty cool. In the coming decades, Yale Environment is warning us that warming ocean temperatures will stunt the growth of fish by as much as 30%. I know, right?
Useful.
Modern dolphins and whales developed bizarre forms of feeding with only a few million years after they evolved. So I guess they got weird out of boredom. After a few million years, I probably would.
And this is going to make you sound smarter from Twitter.
And this is from Smithsonian. Kangaroo herds dominate Australia's ecosystem today. They have outcompeted all the other organisms.
Because?
Because they box and they have little cute Joeys. They stick in their pouches and they're
jump over fences.
They're cute, and there's movies about them, and there aren't any movies about the tarantulas.
The only ones I can think of is Winnie the Pooh.
I have a girlfriend who lives there, and
Kangaroo.
She actually says we perversely am very proud of ourselves because we actually have more things that can kill you here than anywhere else. So I was impressed by that. New York Times was talking about, this is interesting, no one believed it. There is a rare white giraffe along with her pale baby in Kenya. They've never seen an albino giraffe there before. Isn't she darling?
I would paint it.
Really?
I would paint it so it looks like the other one in the middle. Because you know some hunters going, I want that on my wall.
Oh.
Really? Brown and white, just bring them over, give them some grain, some celery, and just kind of paint the...
Spray paint.
Browns, tag them. Tag, you have ladders.
The mom's like, do you know how many genetics it took to get me this way? I look great.
Yeah. El Guapo. That's the artist's name, El Guapo. What's wrong? Right now, there's a lot of people crying, and other people are really happy right now because, well, the state fair has wrapped up, and you know that big butter statue thing?
There's no more funnel cakes. Did you know they had a s'mores funnel cake this year? It was the funnel cake. And then they had on all the marshmallows, and then they put on little crumbled bits of graham cracker, and then they put chocolate syrup over the top, then the traditional whipped cream, and then also the powdered sugar on the top of that.
You go right next door to the booth for diabetes.
It didn't matter. I would have eaten it.
Get your insulin.
I would have sat down and eaten the whole thing.
So the butter thing is melting. All the little piglets and stuff have gone home. All the carnies with one tooth.
I never got to see any of the carnies this
have
year.
Moved on to another town.
But if you did miss the Utah State Fair or you'd like to revisit it in your brain, here is the Utah State Fair in 30 seconds.
We'll see you guys.